Welcome to Front and Center Ice, presented by Run Pure Sports. I'm your host, JC Zargo, joined by the crew, Nate Zafai and Matty Ice. How you guys doing today?
Not too bad, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's a lovely Thursday afternoon. Always excited to talk some hockey with you guys. How about you, Nate Zafai, man? You ready for the weekend?
Yeah, big weekend ahead.
Yeah.
But we have a nice little slate here tonight, a little 11 gamer, I believe. I saw Matty had a good night last night. Nuggets shipped the 121, which was cool to see. I bubbled cash line, but that doesn't matter when we see members and my fellow colleague here, Matty, who continues to own me every other day, it feels like. When they're finding green, that's fine. NBA slate was a disaster yesterday, but that's fine. We'll look to rebound. Got PGA going on right now. Got the live final going on this weekend, and lots of winners to be had. So looking forward to bringing the NHL winners today for the show.
Absolutely. Own some haters on Tuesday. I feel like I should probably wait till more people roll in. But Islanders picking up against that win against Buffalo was fantastic. So we'll give out some more winners today on a bit of a tight schedule. So we're just going to jump right into it. First game on my docket is the overrated Golden Knights heading to Tampa, taking on the Lightning. Jonathan Quick making his second start as a Golden Knight. Vegas looking to bounce back from that loss against Florida. So, Nate, I'm just going to toss it right to you, man. Like we said, you're not high on Vegas this season. Lightning is a team that's trying to make a push in the standings. Who do you like here as we expect Vasilevsky to take on Quick?
Yeah, so from a DFS perspective, I don't love this game, to be honest with you. Vegas, I do think, is a kind of a crappy team. We talked about that last time. We don't have to go down that rabbit hole again. But they're pretty good defensively. Granted, their expected goals against is a little bit higher than what their actual is, so should see some regression coming there. I do think Tampa wins this game, but rightfully so. They're the favorite. I could see this game going either way, to be honest with you. Vegas has a little bit better numbers in terms of expected goals, but actual goals and stuff, it definitely favors Tampa here. Tampa's definitely got the better power play. So if they do get any power play opportunities, I definitely think they can pot one or two here. So if I'm going to Tampa, it would definitely be the big dogs for me. Kucherov, Point, Stammer, Sergachev, the usual suspects on that top power play. Ross Colton continues to be a hero. He scored last game again. I know we talked about him briefly on the show on Tuesday. Certainly, I think you can go ahead and play him again. As far as Vegas, don't have a ton of interest, to be honest, overall in this game at these price tags. There's a lot of pretty good spots here on the slate. And I know Matty broke this down, so maybe he's got a different read. But overall, I don't have a ton of interest here.
Yeah, for me personally, man, I'm going to have a hard time betting this one. I lean Tampa. They're just so good at home, but I'm not jumping on that minus 175 money line, and I don't love betting on Tampa to win by 2 in this one, but if you had to lay money, that's where I'd put it. What do you think, Matty?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet and save us some time here. On the DFS side, I don't love this game. I think it probably ends up being a grinder. If I was gonna play anybody, obviously the Tampa Studs. I like playing them at home, but to be honest, I don't think I'd go there tonight. If I was gonna play anybody, it would probably be some of these cheaper pieces from Vegas. Chandler Stevenson, Riley Smith, Ivan Barbashev. Things like that. But I don't love this game from the DFS side of things, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet here. This is one I'm probably just going to end up crossing off tonight.
Fair enough. Nice and easy. We'll keep it moving. Next game I got Dallas Stars visiting the Buffalo Sabres. As we touched on, Buffalo a little overrated on Tuesday. Islanders took them down. Now they host the Stars, who have just been red hot. They're playing great hockey of late. Ottinger expected in net. Another one, personally, betting-wise, same situation for me. I like Dallas. I don't like the look of the money line. And being at home, Buffalo could give them a little bit of trouble. So that puck line is questionable. But Matty Ice, what's your read on this one?
Yeah, this is actually one of my more favorite games of the night.
Okay.
Dallas usually plays a pretty defensive game, but with it being in Buffalo, I think Buffalo can kind of dictate the pace, and they like to run. I think this is a sneaky game stacker if you're an MME guy. I love Dallas 3 here. I really like Max Domi, Tyler Seguin, and the Mason Marchment line. It's been pretty simple with how the Sabres attack top lines while they're at home. It's going to be Thompson against Rupe, and you're going to see Dylan Cousins probably against the Wyatt Johnson, Jamie Benn line. I think Sagan and Domi end up on a pretty nice matchup here. Their prices are nice on DraftKings. On the other side, it's tough here because the Sabres are so expensive. But if I was game stacking this, I think that's who you have to consider because, Thompson's ceiling so high. But I'm going to be more on the Stars on this one. I like their pricing. With some of the other studs I'm trying to jam tonight, like I said, I'm going to be on Domi. He's 4,600. Sagan's 4,600. They're going to see solid minutes, second power play run. And after I watched Domi's first game the other night, it's pretty apparent the coach trusts him late in the game. I would not be surprised to see those guys out there in an empty net situation. I do think Dallas wins on the road here.
Love it. Nathan, how you got a different take on this one?
No, I'm kind of in lockstep with Matty here. This third line for Dallas is going to get a stone nut matchup here. Depth lines have scored all year against the Sabres because usually the top couple lines are tasked with slowing down Tage Thompson, obviously one of the best players in the league, has 5-goal upside any night, literally 5-goal upside any night. But I do think the Stars kind of handle him here. Stars are playing great hockey. Great additions with Max Domi has helped this team tremendously. And that third line, I mean, Sagan has 11 shots, 2 goals, 4 assists over the last 5. Max Domi has been red hot since joining here, 14 shots on net. He's only got 1 goal, but I can see that changing at least him adding at least 1 here tonight for the Stars. And then Marchment has been a great line mate to Sagan for the majority of the year. And he's got 12 shots on net over the last 5 too. So that's one thing. If I am looking at playing a depth line, right, I want them active when they're on the ice and I want them shooting the puck and not just out there at the YMCA with free skating with their kids out there and playing street hockey, right? I don't want that. This is a pretty solid matchup for the Dallas D-men here. Kind of pick your poison. My favorite would obviously be Miro. But Heiskanen, he's the most expensive. But he's shown upside. He hasn't had the greatest success against Buffalo, but I really don't care about that. Last 5, Buffalo's pretty leaky to the defense position here. So could be a nice buy low spot on a guy that has pretty solid upside at 6K flat at defense. If you want to punt with a guy like Lindell or Hakapa or any of those other guys, like you can. I just don't know if I get there. I mean, Ryan Suter is 2,800. He does get power play run. The only issue is he just does nothing when he's on the ice. So you're kind of really just hoping to strike gold playing something like that.
He might have to be a little more. He might have to be a little more aggressive tonight, Nate, because they did sit Niles Lundqvist. He's out tonight.
Okay, yeah. So that could give him a little boost. 2,800. I mean, he snags an assist and blocks a couple shots. You're pretty much set home free at that point. With power play run, it is a pretty solid power play for them. Buffalo's penalty kill is awful. 32nd in the league on home ice, under 70%. Actually under 65%, I should say. So solid matchup there. And over the last 5, it's been one of the best matchups on the board for D-men. So I think you can take a stab there. But yeah, I'm definitely on the Stars here. Buffalo, I can't pay these price tags. I mean, Cousins is still reasonably priced, but I think if anyone plays Sabres guys, that's the first place they're going to look. I know I saw We the People talking about him in chat for a good reason, but I probably don't play any Sabres on this slate.
I'm kind of leaning over here too. What you down with that play?
So the unders hit actually the under hit this year already. Last time these guys played 3-2, it looks like was the final score. And then game before that, obviously last year, totally different teams and stuff, but the under did hit as well. So the last 2, the unders hit. So I'm not going to take a side on the totals. I have not been good on those all year long, but I do kind of lean the under a little bit here.
Okay. Did you have something you want to add, Matty?
I actually, like I said, I think this is a sneaky game stack here. I think both teams are pushing. I think this one could get a little wild. So I lean the over. It's probably not something I'm going to bet.
Sure.
That I feel comfortable enough to bet, but just my gut hunch is telling me this one goes over.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Like I said, I haven't had a huge stand on those first two games, but one I like is the New Jersey Devils visiting the Washington Capitals. Spread on this one's a little bit closer than one might think. Large part of that is due to Schmid being in net for New Jersey. He's not been great this year. He's only played like 11 games. Record is 6-4, 0-1. But in the offense Washington producing leads to a real easy over for me in my mind. Certainly give a lean to the Devils, but I think the over is a great play here. Nate's a 5, man. What do you have on this one?
Yeah, I mean, this game screams Jersey smash here for me. Jersey, I actually don't like. I mean, I know Schmid is in net, but overall, Jersey's defense has been really good. Obviously, Vancheck has been solid in net too, but it's not really all goaltender when you're looking at expected goals numbers and stuff like that, right? It's partial of that does come from the defense and the players in front of the goalie, right? So unless you're obviously a guy like John Gibson, right, where you're just a freak and just stop 50 shots a game, but lose 5-4. So I do think Jersey kind of handles them here pretty good. Jersey's 31st in the league in expected goals against over the last 5 games, which is significantly lower than what their actual goals against. So I see some positive regression heading in their way here. I just don't. I mean, sure, you can play a guy like Alex Ovechkin. Obviously, anyone. I'd be an idiot, right, to not say you can play a dude that has over 800 career goals. 8,100 though. I think I'd rather play a guy like Timo Meier right at that same price range. Jack Hughes for a little bit more. Jack Hughes has a nut matchup here. The dude is a freak. He's skating with Timo. I do think all of those guys make sense. Even Nico. I mean, Nico's price tag at 6,900 in this matchup is very nice. Dawson Mercer is the talk of the town. As of the last probably 10 games, the dude is literally just a walking flamethrower. Had a little bit of regression last game against Toronto. I don't think I play him here. He's approached his season high price tag. Obviously, last game at Toronto, he was 5K as well. He's 5K again here. I just can't play 5K for Mercer. I liked him more when he was in the mid 3s and low 4s. Is when I was printing with him when he had those 30, 24, 31, 28, 28 DraftKings point games. Sir, you can play him just because he's on fire and he's active when he's out there. I just prefer his line mates more, like Nico, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meier, Jack Hughes, Dougie Hamilton. Sure, you can go to him. For the Caps, Trevor Van Riemsdyk is on an absolute tear right now as a D-man ever since the injuries and the trades and that have happened. So 4,500, I think that's pretty solid value. That's probably my favorite Washington piece. But again, like I said, I think there's some positive regression coming for Jersey's favor. So I don't love a ton of these Washington guys.
For sure. All right, Matty. So Nate's 5 on the same page as me. This -1.5, paying out +170 for New Jersey. Seems like an easy smash spot. What do you have here?
Yeah, I like New Jersey here. I'm going to be fading Dawson Mercer. We've been riding Dawson Mercer for 2 weeks, but similar to what Nate said, I'm hopping off here. I hopped off last game. I'm not going to be on him tonight. I do like that second line for New Jersey. I think they get a very good matchup. I do think Nico Hischier is very, very sneaky tonight as well too. With this game being in Washington, I expect the Caps to avoid him. He's just such a good two-way centerman. So I actually prefer playing him when he's on the road because I think he sees better matchups, very similar to Eriksson Ek for the Wild. On the Washington side, I'm not too heavy over here. Obviously, Rasmus Sandin, he's cheap still. He's running that top power play. He's looked excellent, since getting to Washington. Another guy that cheap GPP flyer, if you're looking for something crazy, is Anthony Mantha. He's $2,900 on DraftKings. He's 4K on FanDuel. They moved him up to the top line with Kuznetsov and Ovechkin. He's going to get some second unit power play work. Anytime you're skating with two really skilled guys like Ovi and Kuzi, I never have any reservation at taking a shot at a cheapie, especially with Schmidt in net. I don't think he's any good. So Anthony Mantha, Rasmus Sandin for me on the Washington side, and New Jersey too, with maybe a sprinkle of Mr. Heischer. But yeah, like the Devils here, I do like that money line as well that you mentioned, Zargo. So I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Sweet. Awesome. One other play I have in this one, Schmid under 26.5 saves. I think it's a pretty easy bet. Washington New Jersey allows roughly 30 goals or 30 shots on net per game. I think they're going to step it up a little bit, knowing they got to protect the young keeper, and I think he's going to let a lot by him. So I'm on that under for sure. Next game, though, an interesting one. New York Islanders visiting Pittsburgh Penguin. Wild card matchup, as Pittsburgh will looking to move into that top wild card spot with a win tonight. Sorokin and Jari are confirmed, so that's going to be a heck of a battle. Odds favor Pittsburgh in this one, which I think is strange given how New York's been playing of late. So I'm on that dog money. But what about you, Matty Ice? Where will your money be on this one?
Yeah, I lean the Islanders here, but only slightly. I watched that Pittsburgh game the other night, and it was, I think it was 3-0, 4-0 faster than you could, even before I could finish a beer. It was quite quick. I'm not coming out this hill. I just don't think the Penguins are very, very good. With Sorokin in net, that's such a big advantage for the Islanders. I mean, Jari's been hit or miss. Deschutes has been hit or miss. I like the Islanders here, specifically the centers, Horvat and Nelson. The Penguins are pretty weak against centers. I think they give up they're the 25th most points against centers in DFS this year, so quite high. On the Penguin side, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet because I know we're on a time crunch today. I like the wingers, Raquel and Gensel. That's where the Islanders tend to struggle a little bit. But I lean Islanders here. It's a sneaky game. I prefer Buffalo Dallas a little bit more to this one. If this game was in, at the Islanders, I probably wouldn't have a ton of interest with the Islanders dictating matchups. But I don't think the Penguins can play the style of game the Islanders want to play. I think they have to go a little bit more up tempo and move the puck to have success in this game. So I think it's a sneaky game stack, but I do lean Islanders on the road here. When I looked this morning, they were plus 118. I'm not sure if that line's changed at all or not, but slight lean to the Islanders for me.
Right on. All right, well, it's a good pick when the homer Tanner Smith is given a scoring play for the other team. Brock Nelson plus 225 to score. Great play coming from Tanner.
By the way, I hope you all enjoyed your Sabres money line the other night, boys.
Absolutely.
Enjoy.
Absolutely. So that's his play. My play on this one is Jari under 27.5 saves. Nothing against Jari. He just hasn't been getting the opportunities to hit that number in his past 10 games. He's only hit it twice. Penn's defense has been playing very well for him. So that's my play. Nate's file. I'll toss it to you.
Yeah, I love the Islanders here. I think nobody's going to go back to them. Obviously, chat told us that on Tuesday, right? Islanders are terrible. Buffalo's the best thing since sliced bread, and, they got owned. So I think it's going to happen again here. I mean, Pittsburgh just literally would have got beat by Columbus if Elvis didn't get hurt mid-game. They probably might even got shut out. Like, they were literally a snowball rolling down a hill here in Wisconsin. And usually when that gets to the bottom of the hill, it's pretty big because we get a lot of snow up here. I'm sure Matty can attest when he takes his kids to the sledding hill. So, I mean, I don't think that was going to change. I don't think it's going to change here. I love the Islanders. Nobody's going to play them. The metrics literally are bright green in every category against Pittsburgh on home ice. Terrible penalty kill. They give up the second most high danger chances, 4th in the league in expected goals against, 6th in the league in shots against. Like, you give me Bo Horvat under 7K, great play. Zach Parise, I think, is a very, very sneaky guy here. He's playing great hockey right now, has pretty solid history against Pittsburgh as well. I personally think Anders Lee scores tonight. I like him quite a bit at 5,200. Has at least one goal in 3 straight games against Pittsburgh. Overall, I'm on the Pittsburgh's train. on the flip side, I'm not targeting Sorokin. Sorokin's probably my favorite goalie on the slate, which is kind of scary because every time I sign up for him, he sucks. But he's owned Pittsburgh. Jari's been terrible against New York. And this team is just terrible with Malkin on the ice. I mean, you let Columbus literally just dumpster dive, destroy you. And everyone was telling, I saw Jared in chat literally stroking to Pittsburgh because they came back and they won, and had to throw some razz at Matty and I, right, that the Wild lost to Calgary. Well, guess what? You guys probably would have got shut out by Columbus if Elvis doesn't get hurt. So that's all I got to say. Islanders, probably one of my favorite stacks on the board, and I don't think anyone's going to play him. Everyone kind of played him last time, which was kind of strange, right? Matty and I said that. Usually we don't see that in SaberSim. Well, it did pretty well for us on Tuesday. So I think I go right back to the well here.
Man, more hate for the Islanders in the chat. When will you guys learn? Own John Tuesday, and we're going back to the well. So
we the people. The only thing I was sweating on Tuesday was the top of the DFS leaderboards, brother.
Right on, right on. Sorry, eventually you guys will learn. But we move on. New York Rangers visiting the Montreal Canadiens. We all expected the Canadiens or the Hurricanes to make light work of the Canadiens on Tuesday. Canadiens took them to overtime where they did lose. Certainly wasn't the game we expected. Now, monster truck in net for them, facing Igor Shesterkin. Rangers, they've lost 2 in a row. Now looking to bounce back against the Canadiens. I'm guessing same spot as Tuesday. Expect the Rangers to smash. Not worth the value here. But Nadesify, what do you have on this one?
Not so quick, my friend. Not so quick. I'm on the Habs here. I think everyone's going to play these Rangers. Rangers have been playing great since they got the additions and all that. But kind of like what we saw with Montreal earlier, with Detroit earlier this year when they went on their run, and I saw it coming with the metrics. I was a little bit behind Matty's eye test. I just think the metrics here point towards Montreal. Not to say that they're going to win, but I mean the last three matchups, it looks like that Igor's faced between this year and last year. 2 of them decided by 1 goal. The other one was a 2-goal decision. All 3 games went under the total. So I definitely I'm not sure why this total is at 6.5. It's definitely because obviously the firepower in New York with the wingers and the new look team. Overall, I don't have a ton of interest on the DFS side. Sure, you can play guys like Josh Anderson and these cheap Gurianov and these cheap Montreal guys. Mike Matheson continues to produce, continues to be a stud. I don't know if I get to Harvey Pinard, but he does have this most upside, which is crazy to say right now on this Habs team. But at 6K, I just don't know if I can play that. But I do like Monster Truck quite a bit in that here. At 6,800. Nobody's going to play them. Everyone's going to be playing these New York, and the underlying metrics say this is not a good spot, not a good matchup here for New York. They're not as great on the road. So that's where I'm going to side. I'm going to die on that hill, and I will not be playing any Rangers, and I might play Monster Truck in that here.
Over under 28.5 saves.
I'd say over. Okay. But it is a little bit risky looking at the numbers. I mean, New York's only averaging 25 shots per game on the road as of late. Last game, Montembeault did have 39 saves, 38 save win, I should say. Saved 38 of 39 shots, got the win. Broke the slate. I think he was 7,200 that slate. But now he's 6,800 in the same exact matchup. So I don't mind him at 6,800. Matty and I talk about it all the time. A value goalie, all he needs to see is rubber flying his way. If he saves the majority of them, gets you the bonus, you're kind of swimming.
All right, Matty Ice, you riding with the underdog or you like the favorite in this one?
I'm pounding the fucking Rangers.
Okay.
The Rangers have not been good since they got the new toys. They have lost 3 straight games to Philly, Ottawa, and Boston.
Yep.
I think this is a get right spot for the Rangers. I think it's time Patty Kane finally lights the lamp here. I love the Rangers too. Trocheck, Breadman, and Patty Kane. I think they get a very, very good matchup on the road tonight. I fully expect the top line of Suzuki to take the Zibanejad, Kreider, and Tarasenko line. I think the Rangers hang one on Montreal tonight, and I'm going to be very heavy on the Rangers too. Sorry, Nades.
Oh, I like that. I like this. Usually it goes. It's been good in my favor when the panel's against me. So hopefully Czar goes on your side, and we'll see who wins. May the best man win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. I know I'm this, third split vote here, but I mean, seeing the Rangers puck line paying out -111, I think that's great value. That plus 220 that Natefy is preaching, it's very intriguing. It's very intriguing. I'm not going to go hard either way. Natefy made a great case, but if I had to put money on this one, yes, I'm probably taking the Rangers puck line. So we'll let Natefy, we'll either do his woes on Tuesday or we'll let him do his victory lap.
You know what? I always let Nades get his victory lap when he gets me.
Yes, you do. You're very good about that, Matty Ice. We give people their flowers on the show. That's for sure. It'll be an exciting one. I'm interested to see. That'll probably might be my game to watch tonight. Moving along, though, team we just mentioned, the Hurricanes. After just edging out the Canadians, they now host the Flyers. Two very different teams here. Philly has only won 2 of their last 10 games. Carolina has only lost 2 of their last 10 games. So Carolina stays hot, continues to win both big and small. They know how to get the job done. And to make things even better for them, Sandstrom is in net for Philly. He is 1-8-1 this season. Again, we talk about all the time, hard to predict who's going to do the scoring for Carolina. But, I mean, looking at this one, how can you not just love the Hurricanes? Matty Ice, I'll toss it to you.
Yeah, I mean, Philly hasn't looked great. It's very apparent that they're moving towards the future here, and they're getting a look at a lot of these young guys. I mean, right now you got Morgan Frost, Owen Tippett, and Joel Farabee, running the top line right now for the Phillies. This is a smash spot for Carolina. When they're at home, I do prefer the top line. If I'm going to play them, I'm going to go to Aho and Svechnikov. I do like Marty Necas a little bit here tonight. The same typical issue with the Canes, right, is it's line roulette. Any one of these guys scores, you're not surprised at all. If Jordan Stahl double dong tonight, I wouldn't be shocked, one bit. I'm just not a big fan of Carolina and DFS. I literally go into almost every single slate going, well, if they beat me, they beat me. That's okay. Odds are 3 lines are going to score and it's going to be fine. But if I was playing this one, it would certainly be Aho and Svechnikov is where I would start. Their goalie, was it Ketchkov? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Anyways, he's Stone Min on DraftKings. He's $6,500. He's returning here. Obviously makes for a great cash play. You can even play him in GPPs. We've seen loser goalies, Stone Min goalies, ship GPPs many, many times. So I would assume he's going to be extremely chalky at 6,500, and that's perfectly fine. That's some chalk I don't mind eating.
Right on. For me, man, kind of the odds on the puck line aren't there because even if you go to -2.5 for Carolina, that's paying out even money. So play I really like is over 4.5 goals for the Hurricanes, playing out plus 124. I think that's the best way to attack this game from a winning side. I think it's going to be just a slaughter. I think what we expected against Montreal, we should get here in Carolina. Natefy, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm right there. I think this is a Carolina absolutely smash spot. Bright green across the board. On my sheet here, the only issue is I say it every time, just like Matty echoed. Stacking up Carolina is tough, but when you do it and when the scoring is condensed, you ship a tournament. Like I said, when dude shipped the 150K back over the All-Star break, Carolina had all the scoring. He stacked them up. They were all under 5% owned, and he shipped the whole thing. And that was even in a heavy matchup like this. I think they were -300 some favorites on that slate too, and they were all under owned. And it's because that it's just so hard unless you're an MME guy. It's so hard to pinpoint these guys because Jarvis can score. I talked about it on Tuesday, right? I said Brady Shea. I said Slavin. And who scores? Slavin scores. Brady Shea scores.
That was hilarious, dude. Literally, you mentioned both of them on the show. They both donged. You're like, God, of course.
Right. Right. And that's just, I mean, that just goes to show you how deep this Carolina team is, especially when they're playing a trash ball team with a backup goalie here. I'd be a little bit more worried if Carter Hart was in that, but Carter Hart's had his struggles too, but he's a way better goalie than Mr. Desert Storm over here, Sandstrom. So I'm definitely on the Canes. DFS wise, I don't know if I get to them. I'm not an MME guy. I play 2 lineups a night. It's just hard. If you want to take a chance, my favorite play is Martin Hs here. Sure, you can grab Kakanemi and Teravainen to pair with line mates there. Or if you want to get crazy and try and spread out your exposure a little bit, maybe grab a Svetch, an Aho, and a Nakis. They all correlate on the power play here, which is a good matchup as well. And kind of just cross correlate and hope that the scoring's condensed to either the power play or lines 1 and 2. So I don't know if I get here, but they're definitely great plays. MME guy, I would probably play all 3 of their top lines. And I would even leave some of these D-men in your pool here, because I do think this is a smash spot for them.
Yeah. Glad we're on the same page. Over 6.5 goals, the total, I realize, is also a solid play. This is the 3rd time these teams have met this season. First game saw 7 goals, and then the last time they played saw 11. So being offered even money, that's also a great play there. Keeping it rolling, though, Edmonton Oilers visiting the Boston Bruins. This game just screams over. How many games have the Bruins won in a row now? At least 10. I don't know if it's more than that.
I can't even keep track. They're just a wagon.
It's insane. My info only goes back 10 games, so it might be deeper than that. But they're unreal. But Edmonton's been playing great hockey too, scoring as well as they do. Over 6.5 jumps off the page. And you gotta, I mean, it's hard to overlook the puck line. -1.5, playing out +145. The way Boston's playing, can Edmonton's offense bring them a win, or is Boston just an unstoppable force, Nades?
Yeah, this is a Boston punch in the mouth here. I mean, unless McDavid scores 4 or 5 goals here to beat Boston, which I wouldn't put it past him, right? The dude is matchup proof. I wrote that in the playbook. But I'm not paying half a mortgage here for Connor McDavid when it's Thursday here and I like to eat some pasta. I'm going to have some little chicken pasta tonight. I'm loading the boat here on David Pastrnak and these Bruins here for my guy Nuggets. I think this is a smash spot here for the Bruins. I think they're going to show Edmonton, hey, we're the real deal. This isn't just a fluke that we're on a 10-game winning streak here. I know McDavid's going nuts and putting the league on notice here, but he's going to get a brutal matchup here against Boston. They're going to throw the bangers on, and you can only hope to try and slow him down, right? McDavid can skate around anyone. He can always do it, but overall team strength and depth, I definitely have to side with Boston. I like any of these top 6 from Boston quite a bit. You can even play some of these deep guys like Zacha and let me see. They just Bertuzzi, I believe, right, is down on that 3rd line too.
Yep.
So,
which how insane is that?
To be honest, if you
like
really want
to get the best player from a team, and he's on your 3rd line,
it's not even fair.
Yeah. I mean, their 3rd line, Charlie Coyle is fine. Like, he's not an incredible player by any means, but he's your 3rd line center with Bertuzzi as his line mate. Right, like, and then you got your 2nd line with Pavel Zacha, who's playing incredible hockey. David Pastrnak, one of the best wingers in the league, and then your top line is Marchand, Bergeron, and DeBrusk. Right, like any of these top 6, even top 9, I think are in play here. I understand Edmonton's been good. They did drop one, and they're coming off a win, but I think this is just a different animal they're about to see here. I kind of lean the under a little bit here, though.
Oh, okay.
Just because, I mean, the last 2 games between these squads, it's gone under 3-2. Both of them, Boston's won. Just something tells me that Boston's going to try and slow them down, right? Edmonton wants to run. Edmonton wants to fly. So Boston at home dictating matchups, I think they try and slow it down a little bit and just beat them straight up, because they're the far superior team. But I still do like Boston to score quite a bit here. Edmonton is bright green in every category against, and it's pretty much on Edmonton. It's only only McDavid, but I can't play almost 10K against the Boston Bruins for McDavid. I just can't do it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, hard to argue with that. Matty Ice, what do you like better? Boston -1.5 or parlay Boston money line over 6.5 goals, basically paying out the same?
You know what? I like the shot props in this game, to be honest.
Okay.
You know, I'm picking the Oilers to win, or Boston to win this game, but Connor McDavid's plus money tonight to score a goal. Anytime you're going to give me McJesus and some positive money, I'm certainly all about that. Pasternak's -120 to score tonight. He is better than McDavid odds to score tonight. I think that's quite impressive. He's averaged a point per game against the Oilers over his career and roughly 4.5 shots per game. If you look at his shot prop on DK, it's at 4.5, but it's plus 105. So I like when I can get some plus money on that. One other guy I want to mention is I see the Bruins kind of changed up their power plays. Dmitry Orlov is actually going to be running the top power play unit for the Bruins tonight. He's upper fours on DraftKings. He works that top power play and the top PK unit. I think he's a great value tonight. I expect this to be a really good game. You know, I make fun of the Oilers quite a bit, and everybody knows I love Connor, but I think this is going to be a really good game. The Oilers are playing good hockey right now, and there's just no way around that. They're playing solid hockey. It's going to be a real test here because, like as I mentioned before, Boston is an absolute wagon. Wait till this team gets Taylor Hall back. He's going to be on that third line with Bertuzzi and Coyle. It's going to be ridiculous. But I think this is going to be a really good game. I don't know if I want to bet the over or the under. I think I want to lean more on these shot props and goal props. Like I said, anytime you're going to give me Connor at plus money, I'm in on that. Pasternak's averaging over 5.5 shots per game in his last 12 against the Oilers. That's plus money. And so that's kind of where I'm at here. So I don't know that I'm going to pay up for Connor, but I like the bet side of it for Connor. Like I said, anytime you're going to give me Connor at anything plus, I like it. And then I love Pasternak tonight. He's going to be in most of my builds. We were talking about this in Discord a little bit earlier. I think this is an elite spot for him. I think you can consider Pavel Zacha, David Krejci. I'm going to bring off Brad Marchand. Nuggets posted an article in our Discord regarding his knee surgery and how he hasn't just felt quite right. And he's just kind of been plugging along and it's getting a little bit stronger. So I think I'm going to fade that top line. I'm going to go to Boston too. And then Dmitry Orlov. So that's kind of where I'm at here.
All right. I respect it. Yeah. I'm make some great points, some solid plays. I'm really excited for this game because I'm just interested to see if it just turns into a smash of Edmonton, if Boston just drops the hammer, or if Edmonton proves they can run up the big dogs. Keeping it pushing, though, Los Angeles Kings visiting the Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche, man, they are just climbing the standings ever more. And the Kings, they're hanging tough with Vegas. So it should be an enticing matchup. Definitely a potential playoff preview. Odds on this one give a pretty heavy lean to the Avalanche, but I don't know, man. I'm high on this Kings team. Dave, I mean, you can knock it down if you think, I'm a little too hype on them, but I'm liking that 138 money line. What do you think?
I like the Avs in this one, but overall, from a DFS perspective, I don't like this game. I think it's a playoff hockey game. I can see a 2-1, 3-1 type feel, right? I think the Avs definitely have the slight advantage here. They're playing great. They're on home. They can dictate matchups. One guy for the Kings that's playing great hockey right now is Victor Arvidsson. I caught him the other night when he scored. That was pretty tasty there. But he's averaging right around 5 shots per game at 5,500. That's a fair play if you land there. Obviously, Nasty Nate, you can always play him, but for $100 more, I'd just rather have McDavid, who, mind you, did score the lone 2 goals last game when Edmonton played Boston. So it was all on the back of McDavid. If they stand a chance again, it's going to happen tonight. So for $100 more from McKinnon, I'd rather have McDavid. Outside of that, I mean, I don't have a ton of interest in this game. I wrote it in the playbook. I think this is just a better hockey game than the DFS game, which is kind of interesting to note. Last game did shoot a little bit, 9 goal total. But I just do think Colorado is starting to round in, right? They're my favorite coming out of the West. Obviously, not getting Skog back, it looks like, hurts a little bit. But overall, I think they can kind of end this Kings winning streak here. It looks like Korpisalo is going to be in net, projected at least. So I do think the Avs can win this one.
That's confirmed. So he's definitely in that. And you're right. I mean, Kings, they kind of present a similar issue that the Knights have. I think the Kings have a better defense, but definitely their issues in that could ultimately be their downfall. Matty Ice, where are you on this game?
Man, I am really torn on this one. I'm with you, Zar. I like this Kings team a lot. I think they're just a scrappy, really scrappy damn bunch. They just man, they just don't stop. They're very tenacious. And as good as Copley's been this year, I think Korpisalo is going to be the man in the playoffs. I was very impressed with what he's done in Columbus on a bad team.
Yeah.
If you dig into his numbers, he's actually been pretty good. I'm gonna give the slight lean here to the Avs on home ice. I was heavy on them on Tuesday. I mean, we smashed McKinnon and Nichushkin and Makar and just littered the leaderboards. But I'm gonna give the slight leans to the Avs here. I don't know that I want to bet this one. This is a game that I'm really looking forward to watching, right? Like I really want to watch this, but I agree with Nate. I think this is going to be a high intensity, heavy checking, playoff type atmosphere in this game, a kind of a measuring stick to see where these teams are at. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I'm not sure I'm going to go to them, either one of them on the DFS side of things for me tonight.
Right on. I respect that. Fair enough. Now a game. I'm gonna just toss it to Nadefy. Let him do his victory lap as the Nashville Predators visit the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes absolutely destroyed St. Louis on Tuesday. 6-2 victory. Big win for the Yotes. Big win for Nadefy. Predators, man, their team, I kind of feel like they're a little bit overrated. I know they're in the playoff hunt. I don't think they're very good. So going to Arizona, I kind of like them to win again at home. But Nadefy, what do you have?
Yeah, I'll take my victory lap from Tuesday. Definitely appreciate that. That was tasty. Called the Nick Schmaltz anytime and the Yotes to win at plus 310. That was nice and juicy there. I think we're 2 for 2 on the last 2 weeks, last 2 shows. Best bets cashing in all over plus a little over 3-1 on both of them. So that was good. Nick Schmaltz definitely got the job done. The Yotes got the job done, but I think it's going to stop here. Okay. And I don't like this Preds team. I haven't been on this Preds team, but they've been good, man, on the road, numbers wise. And the Yotes on the flip side haven't been as great. I just didn't trust the Blues on Tuesday. Just past history and matchups. Something told me that Arizona was going to kind of lay it to them. And right here we have Nashville, who has absolutely owned Arizona in their last 4. Absolutely owned them. So my favorite play in this game from a betting perspective is Roman Josi anytime goal. He's got 4 goals over his last 2, hasn't scored under 20 DraftKings points. If you can get up to him in fantasy, I mean, it's a great play. 8,600. His price is dropping a little bit. I mean, this dude was up mid-9s this year. Now he's 8,600 in a nut matchup against Arizona. I don't know if I get to him, but if you do have the salary, I definitely think he has 30, 40 point upside in this matchup. He's shown it in the past. He's shown it a couple times this year. Actually, back on the 26th, he had a double dong, scored 44 DraftKings points against the same Arizona team in Arizona, mind you. So I'm all aboard Nashville, top power play here. They got some cheap pieces. I like Nashville to win this game outright. Played my Yotes on Tuesday, but I pick and choose when I'm going to play them. And the numbers here for me, obviously everyone knows I'm a numbers guy. 0.2, playing Nashville here. Luke Evangelista, I think is how you pronounce it. I had him the other night when he double donged at under 3K. That was nice and tasty. He's on the top power play there, 10 shots, 2 goals over his last 5. I think he makes some sense. He's cheap. Cody Glass has been up and down all season, but sure, you can go back to him. Thomas Novak on that top power play as well. He's reasonably priced. And then obviously Roman Josi and Matt Duchene, you can play as well. I like anyone on this top power play. Tyson Barrie has incredible history here, but majority of that history, again, is obviously in Edmonton, much different team than Nashville here. I don't know if I get to Tyson Barrie, but he has had 2 pretty solid games back-to-back here on this team. I just prefer the top power play, and that's Roman's spot to lose on that top power play. So I don't know if I get to Barrie. I'm definitely on the Preds here, and I think the Yotes come back down to earth.
Yeah, all right, I respect that. Like I said, I was leaning Nashville, but I don't know what it is, Nathan. You have such a good read of this Arizona team, so I'll probably just steer clear on this one. Matty Ice, you on the same page as Nathan, or are you liking the Yotes at home?
No, I think the Preds win here, but I neither of these teams are either what they were, 3 weeks ago. I mean, we've shipped guys out all over the place. I know history doesn't say to play the under here, but I think this game actually goes under. I think it ends up pretty tight with Veggie Melka and Saros in net here. It's not my favorite spot on the slate here. I do like Josi quite a bit if you can afford to get him into your lineups, but for me tonight it was either Josi or Pasta, and I just decided to go with Pasta here. I don't love it. Like Evangelista, who's super cheap and on that top line, I got no issue taking a shot at him. You don't, when you're looking at a guy that cheap, right? You don't need him to get the shot on goal bonus and the block bonus like you do if you're playing Josi. All you need him to do is pot one or have 3 or 4 shots on goal and grab an apple. But I don't have a great read on it. Nate's has a much better read on this Yotes team. I swear to God, you'd think he was the GM. They should hire him.
Honestly.
But I think this game goes under. I think it ends up like a 2-1, 3-1 Preds win. So I don't have a ton of interest outside of, taking some shots at these really cheap guys like Tommy Novak and Luke, Evangelista. I don't know that I get to Josi tonight on the DFS end just because I prefer the pace and matchup of the Boston-Edmonton game.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Last game, Ottawa at Seattle. Interesting one. Seattle, man, they've been on a tear. They've won 5 games in a row. If everything breaks right for them tonight,
hold on. Before we do this, are you you skip the Blues every slate? I think it feels like.
All right.
I mean, yeah, like I'll let Matty break this game down first, but I mean, you skip them every time.
I do. I don't really know how. I kind of know how, and it's a long route of how. Let me talk this game. We'll circle back. We'll get to the Blues. I know we got the one Blues fans in the chat, so yes, you are right, Nathan. I do apologize. And if there are any Sharks fans out there, you're part of that fallout, unfortunately. Seattle, though, 5-game winning streak. If everything breaks their way, they will be in a 4-way tie for first place in the West after tonight, taking on an Ottawa team that had a 5-game winning streak dashed on Monday against Chicago. That was embarrassing. So how do you think it plays out tonight, Matty Guys?
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting game. I have been backing the Sens, and I've been a big supporter of the Sens. Most of the year, even last year when Iche was around. I've always liked their young nucleus of players, but man, did they show the other night that they are not ready for a playoff push. To go into Chicago and get absolutely drubbed 5-0 was absolutely embarrassing. I'm going to take a wait and see approach on the Sens tonight. I want to see what they do. Do they come out fired up after getting embarrassed, or do we see the same old Sens that we've seen before? I lean Seattle at home here. Grubauer's been absolutely fantastic over his last 4 starts. So I side with them. I'd go right back to that top line of Matty and McCann and Eberle. Vince Dunn did get yanked out of the game the other night due to a concussion spotter, but he was on the ice for morning skate today, so it does sound like he's going to be in. I was going to be pretty heavy on Justin Schultz if he was going to be out, but it does sound like he's going to play. So I do like Seattle here. I'm going to take a wait and see approach on the Sens. I just don't know what to do with them yet. that loss to the Hawks the other night was just mind blowing to me. So I'm going to take a wait and see here, traveling all the way across country out to Seattle and see what the Sens do. So I'm going to back the Kraken here.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm on Seattle as well. I mean, 134 is a little bit more juice. I prefer to take in a bet, but Seattle at home, I'll probably throw some money on it and take the smaller return that comes with that. How about you, Nate?
Yeah, I'm in lockstep with Matty here. I do think you can play guys like Bathbaum there, DeBrincat and Shane Pinto. That second line I would go to just at the discount. Second line, typically I like, again, on the road a little bit better than at home. They just typically tend to see a little bit of a better matchup. I think Timmy Stu takes the top line here for Seattle. I do like their top line and Jared McCann, Matty B. I will not pronounce to give Jay Reed his excitement for the day with my mispronunciation. So I'm just going to say Matty B. I think you can play him. Justin Schultz, I still like quite a bit here. He's the man on the top power play. And the Sens have actually been god awful versus D-men over the last 5 games. And 3,500, I put him in the playbook. I put him in the value section. He's been active too and runs point on that power play, and a pretty solid power play matchup here as well for Seattle. I don't know how much I stack up Seattle. They're kind of like a Canes light to me. Their lines are all over the place. Their power play correlation really sucks. Like Jared McCann and Matty B are on 2 different power plays, but they're on their top line, right? Typically you don't see top liners not on the top power play. They're on the top line for a reason. For whatever reason, Seattle just does wonky stuff with their line combinations on the power play and kind of split the time 50-50. Oliver Bjorkstrand, I think Bjorkstrand is a fair play at 4K. He's been pretty active, 18 shots on goal over his last 5, which is that's a good value for 4K in a matchup here where I think Seattle wins. The Sens, I mean, that was just embarrassing. You head into Chicago and get blanked by an AHL team. I think Matty's boy high school team could have beat the Blackhawks there. And the Sens literally just got punched in the mouth, which was kind of funny to see. I know my dad was stroking his meat to the Sens all day. And he was a little hurt. I'm sure he's watching this show, so I had to throw a little dig at him too. When he rides these Sens just as much as Matty does, I think. But at least Matty picks and chooses his spots and wins money when he plays them. But overall, definitely think the Kraken, solid spot here. I like the cheap tenders more here, so I don't know if I spend up for Grubauer. But he's been great. Like Matty said, 7,900 is a fair price tag for that. I think he lacks upside because I do think the Sens can score a couple here. You got the top 6 like they have, right? They have the power to do it. And if he lets a couple in, I just don't know if he has the saves upside there and of these cheaper tenders on the slate tonight. So that's where I'm at.
Fair enough. All right, last game. Sharks at Blues. Very inconsequential game. But Blues are favored at home. Just 2 terrible teams. I'm guessing I'm hoping you got a great play for this one, Nate Zafai, to just call me out like that. Well, what you got? Bring it.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to love the Blues here, but man, they went literally smoothie blender season on the beach, like with their lines and their power plays. We posted it in chat. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. They're literally, I don't know if they're trying to join the tank squad for Bedard. They ain't going to get them, so I don't know what they're trying to do here. Obviously, they shipped everyone out of town, but I do have some slight interest, especially in a guy like Jacob Vrana. Got to give Matty credit here. He can victory lap me. He's played this dude since joining here. The kid just flies around the ice. 3,300. He's going to run top power play as well against the Sharks. I definitely have interest in that at that price tag. Busnevich, I said he was my favorite Blue last time. He went nuclear. I like him again. He's just been incredible since his return. He sat out 2 games there about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And ever since then, he's just been on an absolute tear. So I definitely think you can go back to him. And Bobby Thomas and Kyrou are my other 2 interests of this Blues team. So I think you can play any of those 4. Verana's probably my favorite, just at the salary savings on that top power play. I think a goal for him is coming. He's just been working too hard and flying around the ice to not have some positive regression come his way. So overall, have some interest here, but not my favorite. On the flip side, I think you can play some of these cheap sharks as well, because the Blues, I've said it all year since. Actually, I got to give Crane in credit, fellow Blues homer. I think he says the Blues great every time. A former Blues player, which seems like the whole league scores for another team. But he did say target the Blues the rest of the year. So I think you can certainly play guys like Logan Couture, Barabanov, and Andres Johansson is actually cheap, 2,700. Runs that second line with those guys. Does get second power play run as well. And he's been active. He's got 9 shots on goal, 2 assists over his last 5. He gets you an assist at 2,700, a couple shots on net. I mean, he pays off that price tag with ease. So don't hate that one bit. But overall, not my favorite game because Blues went full blender mode.
All right. Matty, you got anything different? Stand on this one?
No, I'll keep it quick here. It's Verana for me or Kyrou on the Blues side. They went, like Nate said, they went full smoothie blender on their lines and power plays, so there's not a ton of correlation here. I'm looking more for the Blues score 5v5. As I mentioned the other day, the Sharks are still a top 10 penalty kill in hockey, which is hard to believe. But Jordan Kyrou and Jakub Verana for me, short and sweet. That's all I'm looking at here. Love it.
I appreciate it. That's our full slate. Best bets coming up. Everybody do us a favor. Drop that like. Check us out at Run Pure. Matty Ice and Nate Defy, they're dropping cores every day, giving out the winners. Using the information themselves, booking themselves trips like Nate Defy to the finals this weekend. So be sure to show them some love on Twitter. Give them a follow. And, you can use code NATEDEFY15, Zargo15, or MattyIce15 to get you 15% off your initial membership at Run Pure. Drop a like, and NATEDEFY will hit us with his best bet.
Yeah, so I'm going to give 2 for the people here. My favorite is Roman Josi to score, Preds to win, plus 290 on DraftKings. I think that's great value there. And then my second one, I talked about it earlier. I think the Islanders win here. I hope we own Chad again because whatever reason, feels like the whole world's against this Islanders team. We said it as soon as we saw the trade. Matty and I were high on this Islanders team. I still stand by that statement. I still think they're gonna knock these Pens out and they're gonna make the playoffs over there. So I got Islanders money line, Anders Lee to score, plus 380 is a nice tasty payout there. So those are my 2 for today.
Love it. I'll keep with the theme. I'm liking Tristan Jarry under 27.5 saves. That's my pick. Matty Ice.
All right, I got 2 of them for you, and you can make it a third if you want. I'm just going to buy you guys dinner tonight. Take the Rangers puck line -1.5, -115, and Patrick Kane anytime goal scorer plus 135.
I love it. Matty Ice giving out the winners, and for those of you that are members, he's dropping winners in the Discord too. He's just silently coming in, dropping winners. Hopefully he'll do it again today. We appreciate you all. We are out Saturday, but we will be back Tuesday, 3 Eastern, as always. Thank you so much for joining us, and of course, as always, Run Pure.